Hello, welcome back to my channel. We are in a situation where we can't be at school due to COVID-19 lockdown, and yet we need to continue with the studying. So that leaves us with no option but rather to embrace the virtual online means of learning, that is studying from home. However, this can be very challenging, especially if you're in a setting where you keep getting distracted by different people and with many other things. So this video I'm going to share with you my experience on what I went through the previous lockdown, and then I'll be able to share a few tips which I believe can be of help if you embrace them and put them into action, especially in this period of lockdown. My name is Rogers and you're welcome back to my channel. Let's get started. So last year in 2020, it was around March when the president announced a lockdown and all schools had to be closed. We all had to go back home. Yeah, so I went back home to the village. I remember I told you in my first video that my village is in Ukomansimbi. I went back home and I went with a lot of energy to keep studying, keep reading, because I knew after a month I was supposed to be back to school and I had exams to do. But then I lost the morale when the president kept on adding days and days. I read for the first month and then finally after some time I gave up, and because it was becoming too much. Yeah, so that was it, and until later on after a few months when the university introduced online learning where we could have lectures carried out via Zoom. However, it was really very hard for me to adapt to this new setting. First of all, I was in a village where the network was very poor. I was broke. I didn't have money for data, and my routine could not really allow me to study. Personally, I would wake up at 6, and by 7 I could be off to the garden. So I could be in the garden, dig, do some farm work, and then come back home at around midday or even 1. So it became really very challenging for me to adapt, because lectures were usually in the morning hours, and me at that time I was in the garden. And then when I come back at 1, I was supposed to go and fetch water, fetch firewood that was to be used at home, so I could ride my motorcycle, go fetch water, go fetch firewood. By the time you have lunch at around 3, you're already tired. So after lunch you just have a shower and then have some rest, because you've been working since morning. I could wake up at maybe like 6:30, then have a shower, and the next thing is to sit down, watch news, some interesting shows on TV. Before you know it, time for sleeping again. So that became the routine: sleep, wake up, go to the garden, do some housework when you come back, have lunch, have some rest, and then sleep. So another thing that I had, another challenge, was my parents. They knew that online learning or studying was happening, but it was as if sometimes they could forget. I had even given them the timetable, but you could just be surprised. Before you know it, your mom is calling you. We are going for the garden. You're off for the garden. Come on, we go. I was like, don't these people know that I'm supposed to be learning? After some time, I had to sit them down after lunch one day, because that happened for like 2-3 weeks. I sat them down. I explained to them what was happening. I told them that I'm ready to do any housework whenever I'm free, but I asked them to give me that 1, 2, 3 hours my colleagues were studying, and I was missing out for a lot. Yeah, so like that, they started supporting me, giving me some money to buy data to attend the lectures. But then again, reading became a bit hard. Now that means I had no work to do at home, that is in the morning hours, and I had to compensate like in the evenings. But again, I had to explain to them again so that they give me some more time to be able to do my personal reading. So evening hours, instead of sleeping and having a rest, we could go and get some place which is a bit quiet and do some reading from there. But again, I would get distracted by my phone. You've gone there to read, you spend 2 hours, and in those 2 hours you use only 30 minutes to read, and you use the rest of the time for WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, and all that. That really became a challenge for me, and trust me, I missed out a lot, because my colleagues were far as far as academics are concerned, and I was really lagging behind. So I don't want that to happen to you. That's why I'm making this video, and in the next few minutes I'm going to share with you brief points which I believe can be helpful for you to study from home. So let's get to it and we see. But maybe a word of caution: what I'm going to share with you might not work for you, might not work for everyone. So please, I want you to use it to extract some useful information, do your own planning, and work in something that will be able to favor you. Secondly, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just hit that subscription button. So the first point here is explain to people at home. Parents understand. They understand what's going on, they know what's happening, and if you tell them that the university is willing to continue teaching you even when you're at home, they can give you that free time, they can give you that space, they can give you that support, they can give you that data that you need for you to be able to continue learning from home. Talk to them, explain, and I'm very sure they will listen. Otherwise, if you don't, they will always never give you that freedom to do whatever you want to do. They always interrupt you with housework. Well, let them understand that this is the new normal. We are not going backwards, but we're moving forward. And if we are to progress, we have to adapt to what's happening. Virtual means are the way to go. For you to be able to embrace virtual means, that means they must be able to create some time for you. Find a suitable environment that can favor your reading. Don't say that I'm going to read, then go and sit in a living room and start attending a lecture from there, or start reading a book from there. Trust me, you'll be distracted by your siblings. For them, they are little, they'll just come to play with you and they won't know that you're doing something serious. So probably go get some place which is quiet. You can be in your room if there's nowhere else you can go. But yeah, I would advise, if there's any place around home which is a bit quiet, no people, no distractions, you can go there and you'll be able to study from there. When you go there, please do what has taken you there. If possible, put your phone on airplane mode, because that can be very challenging. You go to read, but then you open WhatsApp, you leave your data connection on, and before you know it, you're being distracted by notifications coming in. So if you're not on Zoom, just put your phone in airplane mode. First, concentrate for that 1-2 hours, read, and then you can enjoy your WhatsApp afterwards. Routine, but with flexibility. Find a routine. Your parents can know that during this time, this person is studying. Maybe from morning up to midday, this person will be studying. So there is no distraction at that time. Some of us have lectures, maybe let me say, in the morning from 8 up to 9, and then from 2 up to 5. Let them know so that you can do some work maybe from 10 up to midday, and then you can do other work in the evening. That can be very helpful for you. And then maybe you're unable to concentrate during the time, and the only time you have for your personal reading is at night, like me. Personally, I'm a night person and I sleep at 3 a.m. That is my sleeping time, and the only time that I use for really personal serious reading is at 3 a.m. So look into your routine and identify the time that you can use to read. I'm not telling you to wake up at 5 a.m. and start reading. I'm not telling you to follow my routine. I'm not telling you to sleep at 3 a.m. But I'm just telling you, be flexible and get that time, and let it be known that during this time I'm reading. But be flexible, please be flexible. Set clear daily objectives. Sometimes it is a bit hard to follow the routine, for you to be able to read at this time and then tomorrow at the same time. But if you have clear objectives set, you can be able to follow those objectives. Let me say you said, today I'm going to read this chapter, or I'm going to read this section in this chapter. That means you'll be able to create that time for what you are set to read. You won't sleep without reading that work. It will always motivate you, like it will keep you motivated to go and read it before you sleep. So set those clear daily objectives. Make sure that you stick to them and fulfill them. And set realistic objectives. Don't say, I'm going to read 3 topics in one day. It might not be possible. So set clear objectives. Make sure that you stick to them for that day. Make sure that you fulfill them or you achieve them by the end of the day. Don't go off the grid. keep engaging with your friends on social media. It can be very helpful in a number of ways. One, it can help you with your mental health. Like, you keep engaging with your friends, even though we are at a distance, but at least we keep in touch, we keep together. Don't lose that connection. And secondly, it will help you not to miss out any important information from your school, because if you are at home, maybe in my village in Bukomasimbi, and you're just there, you're in your own world, you don't know what's happening, there might even be some communication from your university and you'll miss it. They might send some notes, share some assignments, and you might miss them. So just keep in touch with your friends, and you can even discuss via WhatsApp, you can discuss via Zoom. That's if you can afford. There are people who can't really study from home. It is really just very, very difficult for you to study from home. So what I advise is, if there's any place where you can go, let me say your auntie, your grandparents, please travel. The transport has been opened. Just travel, go there, start studying from there, start reading from there. Most times those grandparents understand, they know that you've come to read, and for them they don't have a lot of distractions, a lot of work to give you, so you always be free. Like, I remember for me when I was still in my school, during holidays I used to go to my grandparents, because there I could have almost the entire day to myself to do my reading, to be in my books. So travel to a place where you can be able to study, to concentrate. Don't get too stressed by your academics. Even if you're unable to really be at the same pace with everyone, don't get so stressed, because once you're stressed about that, that's the first point for you to fail. Just try to be positive and try to always be flexible to find better ways of improving other than being stressed and going into depression, because once you're stressed, you even lose the morale. You'll be like, maybe let me just give up. So just keep positive and keep fighting. Always get some time and participate in housework. Once you're done with your studying, once you're done with your reading, don't just go to be on your phone, don't just go to play games here and there with friends. Get some time also to help out people at home, because they have been working all day, and in the evening maybe they want you to help them with some work. Please be available. That way they will know that you're not only dodging housework because you don't want to. They'll know that maybe you want to help at home, but it is just that you're supposed to be studying. So just make sure that you help them. Just make sure that you participate in housework whenever you're free, and they'll be able to really give you that time that you need to read. So thank you very much for watching up to the end. Just use this information to come up with a plan that will work for you. And then lastly, please just hit that subscription button, subscribe for my YouTube channel. I'll be making videos almost every week, and I just want you never to miss out. Please let me know about what you think in the comment section. Maybe how have you been able to adapt in this new setting and this new normal? How have you been able to read while at home? Let us know in the comment section. See you in my next video. Bye bye.